I'm over here dancing. Almost didn't even. I'm just like watching the show. Huh. Probably shouldn't just watch the show. Should
You
probably
are the
do
show,
the
man.
show. I'm the show? Oh man, that is so great.
Wrong.
Oh,
Wrong.
wrong again. Wrong again. Good evening, everybody. Just a heads up, not sure if we're having issues over at Rumble. Looks like we are. Nothing I can do about it now. That's it. That's a wrap on Rumble. Good evening and welcome to another episode of this little thing we do here. I am your host of this little thing we do here, Mags. That's what they call me anyway. That's what they call me. That's quotations. They. We don't do spin here. We do truth. So grab your coffee or adult beverage. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Check out the website. Get the links and info, including our little store where we design merchandise here. And even our kids get involved. It's amazing. Child labor laws be damned. Check out my youngest son's Just Some Guy collection. It is once again Thursday night, and that means that Friday is just around the corner. Now, I don't have an applause button, but if I did, that's where I would hit it. Yay! I know you're out there cheering, everybody. I know you're out there. My producer just...
I said, woo!
Oh, there you go.
Hi, guys. Happy Thursday.
Thank goodness the weekend is almost here. Hey, just a little reminder, super chats are
Current
open.
illegal.
Drop your
Yeah,
thoughts
illegal.
and prayers, any stories, whatever. We're growing fast and building a community here. And I left my coffee on the coffee maker. Thanks, sweetie. All right. There we go. This is our regular weekly show. This is where it all started. This is home base, the mothership, whatever you want to call it. Tonight we're going to discuss Congress keeping the perverts protected. Because, wait, that doesn't jive real well with the Epstein files. Huh. Kids standing against protesters. A Marine veteran. The guy that disrupted the Senate Armed Services hearing this week. Thanks for the coffee. Tip your waitress. Tip your waitress. Put that right there. I want to spill it. We got to be careful now. It's hot. And get this, I agree with Van Jones. I'm full of surprises. I know. And all that and more coming right up. So, do differences divide us? And yes, I spelled that U.S, meaning the United States, but us as well. Sort of a play on words. Look how original I am. It's amazing, right? Who would have thought of doing that? Nobody, right?
I was literally like, is that supposed to? I don't know if you did that wrong. I'd ask.
She did ask me about it. I felt dumb.
You're so sneaky.
We're finding our way through the chaos of war. It gets pretty crazy. Hang on, I want to do one. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. We're doing great over here. Everything's running smooth, just like usual. Whether it's the video of distant battles overseas or the threats bubbling up on our own borders or the domestic war is tearing at our culture. This is a positive show, I swear. It's chaos out there, friends. Chaos. But we have to remember, when the anxiety of the world presses down on us, that we are not alone. Ironic in the era of social media that any of us should feel alone. I thought social media was going to cure loneliness. Didn't seem to work. Seems like it multiplied loneliness. Just on the side note, I did look that up real quick. I just was kind of curious in the reference to social media and the loneliness. In the 80s through the 90s, the number of adults that felt lonely or remote was 18 to 20%. With the rise of social media, loneliness began trending upward. In 2025, it sat at 57%. 57% of Americans feel lonely, with Gen Z and millennials the highest at 65 to 67%. That's crazy. That's not crazy, but that's like, wow, that many people feel lonely in this world, but we're all supposed to be connected.
Because they took, I think it's because they took people from real life and put them on this parasocial. There you go, parasocial breaking hearts. Put this on social media, and they think that maybe, it's different.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Talk to people in real life.
Yeah. After the show, though, stay here.
Yes, not right now. Is my microphone on? I can't hear myself.
I think. Talk.
Right. Hello.
There it is.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you got to put your mouth like near it.
What? Like on? There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, okay. A little bit higher. There we go.
Talk to each other. Talk to real people.
And smile at somebody, for dang sake. The world can be a pretty overwhelming place. I think we all are pretty aware of that. And especially when we feel anxious about the world and On top of that, we feel so isolated. Global tensions are rising. Proxy wars are draining our resources. Right here at home, division so deep it's like we're at war with each other. Chaos thrives on isolation. The enemy, whether foreign or domestic, it doesn't matter. They want us fractured. They want us all fractured, divided by race, politics, faith, whatever. They want us divided. If we're not divided, they don't win. Right? It doesn't matter to them what divides us, only that we are divided. So how do you get through these chaotic times? How do you get through them? If you look at, I mean, like I said, anyone can get overwhelmed. You look at the news nowadays. Every time you turn it on now, there's a bombing or some horrible sex story or whatever. It's always something. Feel bad for our children growing up if they happen to catch headlines or anything like that. Hopefully they do not do that. One thing we can do in these times, and while we're navigating in the fog of war, is turn to family, not to government, not to the media, not to institutions or organizations, not to the groups that fomented so much of the division that we're currently experiencing in America today. To our family. And I don't even mean your family, the one you sit around the dinner table with. Yes, that's very important. But what I'm talking about here is a little bit bigger right now. I'm sure your family is just great. Right? I'm sure it's great. I'm sure your family's great. I'm not knocking your family. But I'm talking about the American family. We don't think I heard that phrase earlier, and I'm like, you know what? That's what we should be. A family. We're all part of it. It doesn't matter our differences. We're all brothers and sisters, and brothers and sisters have differences too. I see it in my kids. Me and my brothers had differences when I was growing up. Guess what? We still are all in each other's lives. We still all love each other. We made it through all that stuff. What matters is the blood that we share. But blood shed by all of our ancestors to help provide and protect the nation that my American brothers and sisters have today. We have become a consumer society, meaning we just suck it up. We eat, we watch, we ride, we even work that way. We can get away with it. It's time to stop only consuming what this great nation has provided us. It is time we become engaged in the future of this country because that is part of the legacy that we leave behind. The American family leaves behind. In the midst of all this chaos, when war, violence, rape, murder dominate the headlines, don't let it carry you too far away from your family. Remember that the world has always had chaos. That's the norm, sadly. We can't let those issues, we can't let those that are in charge, we can't let these things divide us. They know when the American family is united, again, the American family is united, they can't stand against us. So they divide us and turn us against each other. Too many of us just listen to that garbage, that propaganda. Too many of us are just so easily led down that road of hating other people for other people's political gain. Let's be real. We declare our hate for people we don't even know over or issues that we don't understand. We just hate them. I stand for this. Well, why do you stand for that? Well, I don't know. I like these people over here. They were standing for it, so I figured I'd stand for it. Yeah. No one seems to know anymore. So they hate simply because our ignorance allowed us to be guided to a desired result. Sheep. If I still had that button, man. Brr. Sheep. The American family. We need to start thinking of ourselves that way. We're not people defined by our differences. We are a large family with differences. Differences alone don't divide us. Again, differences alone do not define or divide us. It's only when those differences are amplified and weaponized that we begin to welcome that division. Have you ever hated somebody or disliked somebody just because of what political party they belong to?
No.
Oh, thanks for
Were you
answering,
talking
babe.
to me?
I thought I was all about myself. Oh, drop this sweatshirt. It's warm in here. It's got the heat on up here.
Turn it off. It's hot.
I'm just on fire. A family that realizes that we share America. It does not belong to the left or the right or the rich or the poor, even if we have leased it out to the rich who now believe that they own it. They don't. We can take it back anytime we want. We as an American family share our most basic national values together. We're tied by them to the same foundational ideas: freedom, opportunity, the pursuit of happiness, and the American dream. Those things unite us beyond race. They unite us beyond ethnicity and origin, or much like family members share a common heritage and household rules. There's differences between the people that live there, but we all follow the same rules. When America faces natural or national disasters, we typically leave behind the groups and labels and get to helping each other, donating, volunteering, community fundraisers. Those kind of actions reflect family like care for each other. And we see it all the time in America when those things happen. It's there just under the surface. We can't always see it because the media doesn't want us to see it. They cover it with dirt, manufacture a fog of war, like ski slopes manufacture fake snow when they need it. In hard times, Americans support strangers as if they were family, because we are. Those moments prove that when life gets real, when it reaches beyond politics and the color of your hat, we are really a family. Groups divide, wedges create hate. American families want better for their kids, for all of our kids and grandkids. Good schools, safe communities, economic opportunity. It's not that different. We're all the same in those areas. We can all celebrate Olympic gold medals and backyard barbecues. We can find common ground in a plethora of places, but we just don't look there anymore because we're not trained to. We're conditioned to look at certain things, and once those things are found, they are eliminating. I like that guy. He's a pretty cool guy. He's got a MAGA hat on. Now I won't talk to him anymore or whatever. Families break up over this kind of stuff, including the American family. Those kind of celebrations remind us that we are family, all cheering for the gold hockey teams, whatever it takes. The ones in charge can't have that. Division must be injected into everything, politics, whatever it takes, whatever divisive subjects you can talk to a Olympic athlete while they're there being interviewed about their sport. Why are politics injected into that? They want us to forget that the United We Stand principles of America, they just want us to forget them. The old motto, unite or die, reminds us that a division weakens us, but unity makes us unbreakable. We may argue like siblings, but we always close ranks when it counts, whether defending the nation or rebuilding after a disaster. Some I think it's by design, but some don't understand that waving the flag, singing the anthem, or cheering for Team USA isn't about erasing differences. It's about pride in our nation. Not my nation, our nation. It's not a white man's nation, it's not a black man's nation. It's our nation. We don't respect each other anymore. Not because we know each other, but because our group says. Because our group says we have been conditioned to withhold respect from the opposition. Thinking taught that they are there, it's more than just a disagreement. It's character based. It doesn't have to be. It's like alienating people just because the group says. Families have to have respect despite disagreements, right? Families don't always agree, but they talk, compromise, and still show up for each other. It's kind of like because they all live in the same house, they're all kind of stuck with each other, right? So they have to figure out a way to get along because if they don't, man, the house is just going to burn down. That house is America. And we're all stuck in that house. Americans can and should debate fiercely over issues. This is how you weed out the bad ideas from the good ideas. You lift up the good ideas and you leave behind the bad ones. That's the point of those debates in the arena of ideas, to just basically filter the crap out. So debate, but treat one another with a basic decency, remembering that we're all in this American family together. True conversations require a measure of trust. In the end, treating each other as family means choosing empathy, forgiveness, and cooperation over division. Because a strong, united American family is what has always made this country exceptional. Like any family, we are not perfect. We will fight and argue. We must not hate. We can bicker, we compete, we disagree loudly. But at the core, we're blood relatives in this great American story. Let's treat each other that way because a united family is unstoppable. Unite or die. And don't forget, unity isn't uniformity. We can disagree on the details, but still lock arms on the big stuff. I can argue and about LGBT rights with an LGBT person, but when it comes down to us having our constitutional rights, we should both be able to lock arms and defend those. As Lincoln said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. Let's build an unbreakable house. That phrase, American family, there's something there. We forget that that's what we are. But that's what we are. We all live in the same house. All of us. I live in the same house as Faith. Right, Faith?
I think so. Last I looked.
You think so?
Yep.
Did you hear about the House the other day, man? Voting, was that yesterday or today?
Yesterday. Or maybe even the day before.
Pull this up.
No, maybe it was yesterday, I think.
I had a video queued up. Let's see here. This is where we're supposed to run a commercial. So I get my stuff together over here. Excellent. Outstanding. Outstanding. Here we go. All the members of Congress today that voted to continue to conceal Congress's sexual harassment slush fund, go home and tell your daughters what you've done. It's a good point. I'm going to pull this up over it.
We couldn't even get to 50 members. I'm absolutely disgusted that we couldn't even get to 50 members of Congress who want immediate transparency. Don't we all campaign on transparency? Don't we all go out and tell the American voters that we are leaders and that we are going to get justice for them, that we are going to do right by them? And then we hire their daughters to come work for us, and your tax dollars, millions and millions of dollars, has been used in this slush fund as hush money to silence victims who have been sexually harassed, sexually abused by members of Congress. And then Congress is going to do exactly what it does best: investigate itself. And we know that none of that ever goes anywhere. The American people demand transparency. And this doesn't just pertain to a ranch in Arizona or New Mexico or an island down in the Virgin Islands. This is happening right here in our nation's capital, and we should be held to the highest standards. And to every member who voted to send this to committee, where this was sent to die on the House floor just moments ago, I hope you have a darn good reason to tell your constituents why you were not going to stand up for the victims. And I'm glad that we are doing something about it here in the Oversight Committee. I'm glad that this motion was made here, so we actually have another chance at transparency. But again, these are your tax dollars. These are your tax dollars that were used to silence victims. They have been settled with victims. And to the members who voted against this, go home and tell your daughters what you did today. Go home and tell your daughters what happens in the workplace, no matter where it is, in your hometown, in your nation's capital, and tell them what you did to help continue to cover up decades of corruption. I am absolutely in favor of this motion.
That's remarkable. After all the stuff going on with Epstein, how they're all about Transparency. We need transparency. Except when it comes to us. So the House voted 357 to 65 to bury Representative Nancy Mace's push to force the Ethics Committee to release records on sexual misconduct and harassment allegations against members of Congress. Republicans and Democrats alike chose to protect their own instead of the victims. They referred it to committee, where bills go to die quietly. They'll sit there forever until it disappears. That's not transparency. That's the swamp protecting itself. When Congress hides wrongdoing, it divides trust even more. We all deserve better than that as we the people. We deserve better than that. We deserve better than having a million and something other trust fund or slush fund or whatever in Congress they can use to pay off sexual assault accusations. Did you hear me? They have a slush fund to pay off victims, to help silence victims of sexual harassment. That's tax money. That's your money. You're paying them to cover up their sexual perverted acts, their abuses. You're paying for that. But remember, you're paying for that. Okay? As long as you're okay with it, I mean, whatever. I'm not okay with it. I don't know about you, but I don't think I've never needed. Now, to be fair, I've never held that kind of power, but I've never needed a slush fund to pay off women so I wouldn't get in trouble. I've never needed that. I can't imagine that I would need that. But I'm not in Congress, so what do I know? I don't know. Do you have one of those, babe? You have a slush fund, babe?
No. Is that like my piggy bank?
No. This would just be money you could spend on whatever.
Nope. I lost mine.
Bail money and stuff like that.
No.
Then you got, so there's that story. And then you got kids protesting kids. Kind of. Reports of students walking out of school to protest ICE aren't really new, sadly. But in some cases, kids are getting booed and facing pushback. USA! High school in CBSD schools, Central Bucks, I'm not sure what that is, held a pathetic anti-ICE protest. However, this time the protesters met with an overwhelming opposition by the rest of the students. The majority of the students chanted USA and booed the handful of protesters that left campus to protest ICE. So this is a school. There's a bunch of kids lined up. Those guys aren't protesting, and then the protesters are going to walk here. These are all students, both sides. So there was that video, and then this other one that came out right after.
They all need to go back to class.
Yep.
Yo, get out of here, bro! USA! 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 Yeah! Keep it pushing! I can't be pushing!
Now, I love this and I hate this. I love it because I see, I have my wife Faith and I have a high number of children. We'll just go
Yeah,
with
a
that.
few.
Just a couple, and then a couple more, and a couple more. Just whatever. And they're in school, obviously. They're all in school. They're all school age. And I meet their friends and I see how my kids are. And I don't push my views on my kids. I'm not shy to share my views, but I don't push them on my kids. I let them figure that stuff out for themselves the same way I did. But I think this video is more important than just watching kids bullying other kids. Now, first of all, it's good because it's good that a lot of these kids, and I see this in my own personal life too, that a lot of these kids are out there and they're understanding what's going on and they're about sick of it. They're awake, it seems like to me. The higher number of them are awake. There is hope. There is hope in this next generation. A lot of them grew up in the COVID era, grew up with the LGBT push and all that crap, and they're sick of it. They're sick of it. They can see how crazy all that stuff is, and they see it, and they're sick of it. So they're going to grow up having grown up through those experiences, and they're going to help shape where they stand politically in the future. Hopefully, they paid attention. But I think the video is troubling. First of all, troubling because these kids are just allowed to leave school. I don't know the exact situation with what was going on at that school, but it appears that school's still in session. Not sure why everybody's out in the lobby though. So I'm not sure that whole story, but it is troubling that kids are allowed to leave school to protest something that most of them don't even understand. Most of them don't. But the most troubling thing to me was the division right in the school hallways. Left versus right, even among our young. It's kind of heartbreaking if I think about it. These are our future patriots being pitted against each other. They're starting to yell and scream at each other names and stuff. They're ruining friendships probably. These things are happening right there on that camera, on that video. For what? We need to teach them unity, not tribalism, not groupthink. So on one hand, I'm glad those kids got booed because it shows that so many, at least the majority of the students, know what is going on and they're sick of it, like I just said, and they demand that they not have to accept it anymore. Not only are they supposed to accept these things, but they're supposed to celebrate them. They're not going to do it anymore. And I'm proud of them for that. But I don't like the division. Certainly not on that level. And speaking of standing up,
Israel is the reason.
where's this guy at?
Israel is.
I'll have to find a better. I wish I could play that Chris Webby song.
Yeah.
Speak up over there. Let me find a video real quick. Give somebody your thoughts. Any thoughts?
I like George's comment over here. It says it's about not letting your mind get hijacked. Don't be a blind sheep following the smell of the sheep's ass in front of your nose. Did you just play words while I was talking?
I'm trying to find something that automatically played.
Yeah, that's the main thing that I'm trying to teach my kids is just think for yourself. If you see something and you agree with it, then that's fine. And if you see something you don't agree with, that's okay too. Don't just follow, peer pressure. To me, that comes down to peer pressure. I've just always kind of been like, don't follow peer pressure. Whatever you think for yourself. And I think that's important to do. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by all the noise in my head.
For this war.
Oh,
America does not want to
Stop
fight
it.
this war for Israel.
What is happening?
Come on, let's go.
I got two different things playing. Hang on.
Israel is
I'll
the
figure this all out in a minute. Bear with me. All right, here we go. So this is the Marine that, well, you'll see.
reason for this war. America does not
Stand
want to
up.
fight this
It's
war
the-
for Israel.
This boy's telling him to stand up. This is at a Senate Armed Services hearing this week.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
America does not want to send its sons and daughters.
But keep in mind that this guy it knew what he was doing. See, he threw himself on the ground. He hooked himself on the wall. I've seen them take people out of these before, and they don't fight. They simply keep screaming until they're gone. But this guy kind of fight. He doesn't fight, but he's got the tactics down.
The war for Israel.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what is he getting kicked out for? Because he's speaking out, or
Is it-
because of what he's saying, or what?
Because he's interrupting the hearing.
Okay.
It's a Senate proceeding. You can't just interrupt it because you want to do a publicity stunt for your upcoming campaign.
Your inability to name that shows you have this as
This guy's
leader.
fighting.
This is wrong. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
Good.
A reminder to all our Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America.
Notice that he hooked his hand on that wall there, on that door, that open door.
Out. No one wants to fight for Israel.
Sir, thank you for your service. Please.
Senator broke his hand.
The senator broke his hand. This is Senator Tim Sheehy went over there to help. Now they're saying he broke his hand.
Broke his hand.
Help him, please.
Senator
Comment on. He's a Marine. Somebody come help him.
control your Senate committee.
Look
He was
at
a
you
Marine.
guys, you're robots.
U.S. Senator.
You won't even look back. Look at you guys. You're like robots.
Why should they?
You would think he
Oh
would
my
know the
God,
decorum
what
being
is
in that uniform.
happening?
Broke the hand of a Marine. You're a coward.
And you're not even looking back. Any of you 4-star generals. Oh my God, what is happening right now? Eyes front, robots.
Make it as emotional as possible.
Shame.
Don't tell me she wasn't there to
Oh
record
my
it for him.
God, you guys.
Everybody sit down.
What did I just see? I'm getting out of here.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please.
Oh my God, what is
That's all.
happening?
Okay, okay.
No, it's not.
Oh my God.
It's disgusting.
How convenient
Oh my
she- yeah,
God,
she
you
took it out.
guys.
Watch the other side of her
Yeah.
camera.
Oh my
Can you open it up a little bit?
Oh
just
my
to
God.
It's sad to
change
see.
the- Yeah.
Yeah, F his
Hey
hand.
guys, if you open
That's how I feel about it.
Clear the hallways. Clear the hallways, please. Clear the hallways, please.
Can you help him, please?
Yes, yes. Have the places going there. Please to the hallways.
Oh my God. What happened? His hand got totally smashed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why are you
He's
getting
running for
arrested?
office.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, Palestine will be free.
And what about this war in Iran?
Oh my
Cindy
God.
Sheehan, I think. Code pink.
His arm.
Okay. Ah, my arm is fucking broke.
What are you
Okay.
gonna do to him?
Oh
My
my
left
God.
arm is broke. I understand. Don't fight.
Oh my God. Oh, you guys, come on.
I need you to move.
You need to stop.
Okay.
Brian, stop.
He's fighting for you, not for him.
No, he's not. He's fighting for him. Yeah, just because you have a uniform on doesn't make it
Oh my
okay.
God. It's totally broken.
Just because you have a uniform on doesn't mean you can act like this and you're supposed to be the victim because you have a uniform on. This guy's a jackass. I don't know. What do you think about it, man?
Y'all step back, please.
Well, I think it's unfortunate no matter who it happened to as far as his arm. I also think that he should have put his arm down and been escorted out because he knows the decorum and he's wearing that uniform. Can't just
Agreed.
blurt it out. So I kind of feel like, I mean, like I said, I don't think that it necessarily, I know I'm sweating in here too. I don't think I don't think it should have gone that way, but I think that it is a result of his behavior. And unfortunately, that's what happened, just like some other unfortunate incidences we have seen.
So, like, personal responsibility matters.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yes, I would say that.
What a crazy idea. So, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, thank you for your service, sir. But no thanks. Pull this other one up. So apparently, stop it. Stop it. Stupid error. So it turns out he's running for office somewhere. Like, here's another. How does that keep playing on its own? What the heck? I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Here's another view of him. This is a video I think he made after.
Make a quick video to tell you that they are trying to keep us from sailing this humanitarian ship.
This is earlier. He was on those flotillas out there in Israel and Gaza.
So please use the hashtag Let Them Sail to help give us an extra push to get us on the boat to deliver this much needed aid to the intentional starvation of the Gazan people. So yeah, it's
What a America First hero. I don't know. I think that stuff kind of just makes me angry because he's disrespecting the uniform. It's no different than these people that are currently enlisted and they go out there on the internet in their uniform and give some kind of a political rant or whatever in uniform. You're not allowed to do that. When they get in trouble, the public goes, "Oh no, they were just speaking their mind. They just are doing their free speech." But they don't have that. So people that aren't in the military don't really get it. This guy only wore his uniform, and he only wears his uniform when he's out there waving a Palestinian flag on the street, or he's out there doing any of those kind of things that working with the left. And I hear he's running for office. I have to figure out where that is, but I hear he's running for office. There was a TikTok report of that. So this was really just a publicity stunt when it comes down to it. The narrative is a decorated Marine willing to risk it all to speak truth as he sees it. That's not what happened. It was a PR stunt. That's it. That's it. And everyone's going to eat it up because he's a Marine.
Yeah, that's what the headlines are now.
Yes.
Senator
exactly.
breaks Marine's arm.
Right. And that's exactly why
with no context.
he did it. I was trying to see if I could find out where he was running, but it's all right. And get this. In all this mess. Oh, we got to talk about that child sex offender that's running for city council, too. We're going to have to talk about that. Van Jones, a lefty, progressive. I have to say, I agree with him here. I'm going to put this video up and tell me what you think. Do you agree with him? I think he's kind of saying what we've been saying for quite a long time. Let's see what you think.
Bit by bit, post by post, nudge by nudge, people are getting separated into different camps that are not ultimately fighting for the good of the United States or the West or their own countries, but are actually functioning at a pawn layer, a pawn level, being moved by different algorithms, by different information operations to cluster and be useful to people who ultimately mean you no good. ultimately not benefiting anybody in the United States. Why is it that you see young people in America who give a free pass to Iran, which is butchering people, shooting down young protesters, won't give women their rights, won't give gay people their rights, and yet are incredibly critical of the United States itself, which at least doesn't kill thousands of protesters and has rights for people? What is going on? Why are people who consider themselves to be American patriots on the right suddenly willing to side with a country that has been...
The thing is, he's directing this at the right, obviously, but we all know.
An enemy of the United States for now generations. What is happening here? And what's the impact of having a country where different factions inside the country are actually aligning themselves with enemies outside the country without seeming to really know they're doing that? That's a gray war. That's how you know you're in a gray war.
It is. Oh, wrong button. So I actually agree with him, but we've been saying that for a long time about the pawns and how they use us and influence us and try to get the outcome that they want. I'm going to pop in a couple of these chat comments. What do you got?
I was going to say, I'm going to address one. America destroyed schools in Iran. No, Iran destroyed that school. That wasn't America. At least from what I read this week, later this week, they came out and said the Iranians, publicly went forth and said that they accidentally hit that school.
Yep. Also, this is the people that hide in schools and churches and hospitals and shoot missiles from those locations and have been known to attack their own people so that they can then turn around, make a propaganda video and use it against whoever their opposition is. Typically that would be Israel. Countless of these things have been proven to be fake. So that's who you're dealing with. So it's tough to believe pretty much anything they have to say. The idea that we're all equal is literally just wrong. The idea that we're all equal is literally just wrong. I mean, okay. That's kind of what the country's based on. It's like the Constitution. It's in, it's all in the founding documents that were, but yeah, whatever. Everybody can believe what they want. I think that we are all equal. I don't believe in equity. See, I believe that we all should be able to start at the same place, but there's no guaranteed outcomes. Doesn't mean in a capitalist society we start at the same place, or a free society you start at the same place, and then some people are more successful than others. Some people finish the race faster, or whatever you want, however you want to compare it. But a socialism or communism, the finish line, everybody's equal. There is nobody excelling or whatever. You're all equal at the finish line. That's the difference. We have the opportunity to grow. We have the opportunity to do anything we want. We can go out and start a business if we want to. That'd be a good idea. I like that idea. To do that, we'd have to get over the government propaganda and realize freedom is more important than party. 100%. 100%. America is more important than party. Principles are more important than party. So many things are more important than party. And somehow that always gets put to the top of the list somewhere. Don't let the ultra rich continue to buy politicians and elections, publicly funded elections. I kind of like the idea of that. Because I've thought about running for something, and I'm just like, how do you even compete with anybody that has, a big old, war chest as far as their money and stuff? Candidates are almost allowed to buy elections that way. I would like there to be a system in place that was like, some public money for people that qualify to run, and you're going to keep those, figure out what those are going to be, but you have public money, so everybody has the same to run on their campaign with. And then you get to see who's better with money too, right? That's kind of important when it comes to government.
Hold on one second before you continue. That person, I didn't see who said it, but they said, I meant we aren't totally equal. Some people just made more money and their family continues to make more money. Some people lift more weight. Some people are smarter, etc.
Oh, fair.
So, yeah.
Fair. Division is okay if you're a Cubs fan and a White Sox fan, but as Americans, division is obviously extremely detrimental. And so much of it is because of the politicians. The more lies, the more division. Yep. And the media, we have to blame the media. The media was I've said this before, they were in the beginning, they were supposed to be the watchdog, the people's watchdog on the government. And it's gotten all screwed up somewhere where now they're more like the lapdog of the government to control the people and help control the people. Thanks for the super chat. We got Epstein.
All right.
You want me to talk about Epstein, I guess? Is that what you mean? Must have been in a hurry. It's all right. Thank you. Appreciate it. I do. We can touch on that, I guess. I'm getting kind of sick of talking about it, to be honest. Victims have the right to be heard. Absolutely. Unless they're victims of people in Congress or super wealthy people. And then they don't have.
Apparently not.
They don't get that then. They're not allowed. Oh, Constitution says the president must get approval from Congress to go to war. Again. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to, because there's an insult in there.
The Constitution says the president must get approval from Congress to go to war. Again. Y'all dumb.
Wrong.
It's 60 days, I think it is, actually. 60 days. I thought it was 30 days. We have 60 days. He can do that. He can have a military actions before Congress can come in and declare war. After that, then they say either they're going to declare war or they pull them back. That's the way it works usually. I think it's 90 days when it comes down to it. Actually, maybe this will help, actually. That might be good. Fetterman explained it the other day. I don't know if I have that one queued up. Well, he explained it the other day where it's like they're not doing anything wrong. The War Powers Act isn't being violated. Dang it, I thought I had it queued up. I got too much stuff. Anyway, Fetterman even explained it the other day. That he's still legal. He's nothing the president has done so far is wrong or illegal. Just one last quick scan.
And how they plan to achieve the objective?
I'm saying it's like, I think we can all agree. I mean, find a senator in here that says we should never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear bomb. Have you know anyone that says they're okay with them having a nuclear weapon? I haven't met any of them. So for me, this entire thing was that end game is make sure that's destroyed, I'm sure. That's part of it, make sure there's no way they could ever acquire a nuclear bomb. And it seems that. And then also the other missile technologies for that. So everything that I've heard there, to me, it just essentially, there's no new shocking kinds of news or any of it.
But wasn't the nuclear program set back in June?
That's extension. And there's no
right there. Yeah.
Hours of notification, and he's done that. Powers resolution is 73 say it says that the president has to provide 48 hours of notification, and he's done that. And then they have up to 60 days, perhaps a 30 days extension. And there's no boots on the ground, and it's been into 100 hours so far. So where has anything been broken or they haven't made every standard?
How do you describe the fact that it's just, how do you?
Ding. Even Fetterman knows. Even Fetterman knows. We're all dumb. Oh, I gotta check this one out. Thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. What we got here? Sorry, I wanted to be sorry. Sorry, I want to discuss. How do you feel about allegedly Trump on the Epstein files? well, I mean, this is an issue that we've discussed pretty. My back pillow there because I'm an old man now. This is a subject that we've discussed pretty extensively. There's nothing in the. I mean, he's in the files. I've searched it numerous times, and I come up with right around 4,800 times he's in there. I know people were saying 38,000 times and all these other numbers, but I haven't been able to find that. I've searched that and another website that I'm going to bring up here. If you haven't checked it out, you should totally look it up.
Yeah, he said, I'm new on your stream, so I don't know.
I got you.
he's gone through it.
Yeah. So one side note, check this website out. It's amazing. This guy did a database of the whole Epstein files. He makes it way easier to search. And he posted it on X and he put on there, weaponize your autism. So there's a link in the chat. I just popped it in there. Should be popping up in a second. Feel free to hit that. It'll take you to this website, which is a pretty interesting website when it comes down to it. It's got pretty much everything you could look, everything. It's got everything. Pictures, court filings. You can search them. The way you search on here is so much better because on the government website, it's just you have to click like 4 times before you actually get to the picture that you want to look at, and then when you get there, it's not what you wanted. But on this, you can look at, puts them all up there, like a gallery. So it's a lot easier to look through, and it makes a lot more sense. As far as Trump being in the Epstein files, I'm not really concerned with it. I'm 100%. 100%. If something is in there and it's proven, there's been accusations for years and years, but nothing comes of those things. You know what I mean? The accusations they're everywhere. If something happened, yeah, of course, I'm 100% going to call that out. I'm not Trump first. I'm America first. I believe in a lot of his policies. I think he's doing a great job for the most part. But I'm America first, not Trump first. Like a lot of people seem to be Trump first. That's not a good thing to be. So I haven't found anything in there, and I haven't heard any news stories about it that incriminate him or they would have been released. That's the other thing I point out is that the Democrats had the Epstein files for how many years? They've been around, they've been here, they've been there. They investigated Trump. I mean, he's the most investigated man in probably all of history. They found nothing. They found nothing in the Epstein files, or they would have brought it up. It would be out there, especially when the Democrats had control of it. They would have used it, but they didn't. There was nothing in there. So as far as I'm concerned, them not using it tells me that he's probably fine. And then since it's been released and nothing coming out, except that one accusation from it was a 13-year-old girl, but there was one accusation that actually, when you looked into it, the left was using it to push their propaganda. But when you looked into it, it was a random anonymous call to some hotline they had set up, and they investigated it. The FBI investigated it and found that it wasn't credible. So like those are the things you find in there. And most of this, it seems like 95% of the times his name comes up, they're just people talking about it or something in emails or whatever. His name will come up. So that's where I'm at with that. Like if something pops up and he's guilty, yeah, 100%. Like Howard Lutnick, his commerce secretary, was on a picture. I think I had it right here on the thing. It was in a picture on the Epstein files or on the Epstein Island. So they immediately called him in. I think he was supposed to go in yesterday. I'm not sure exactly when that was. I got to follow up with it, but there was a picture. Here we go, with him on the island there. That's him there in the blue shirt in the background. And if you know Epstein Island, I don't know Epstein Island, just to be clear. I just seen it on Google Earth and things like that. Just so we're clear. That flagpole in the background, just over his shoulder, is on the island, and that means just to their right, just on the left side of the photo, they're over there by that blue and white striped building with the gold dome, that creepy, weird building. They're over there by that. So it's just but they're calling him in to ask him questions, and if he has something that incriminates him or whatever, they should get rid of him in a heartbeat and then prosecute. Like, I don't care which side they're on. That's the problem. Is most people seem to nowadays to be politics party first. Their guy can do something bad, but if our guy does the same thing, then he's the worst person in the world. It shouldn't be that way. It should just be a standard for everybody. It's like this vote in the House, or how can they vote not to? How can they be like, hey, Epstein files, we care about victims, until we don't, until it's our victims. Then we don't care about the victims anymore. We just care about protecting our own asses. That's what Congress has seemed to become.
Somebody in the chat said, I don't need evidence. Pictures with him is enough.
Well, that's the sad, that means you,
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, I mean, if I had a bunch of money and was just in a circle, I might have been a kid or whatever, not knowing what was going on. And I have a picture next to this dude and then found out later. So to me, you can't convict people on a picture next to the man. Sure. Like I said, if other stuff comes out, but just to accuse them because they have a picture with them. I mean,
yeah. I mean, keep in mind that
I'm not saying
Epstein,
they're innocent, but that's not proven guilty.
Epstein searched out these rich people and rubbed elbows with all these guys and stuff like that. So, whatever, they knew each other. Yeah. But if you look in the Epstein files, it appears that Trump called the police. I mean, there's so many things that don't come out about it that because if they did, it would just screw up the propaganda, screw up the narrative that they push, that, Republicans are evil. Don't forget, we're all evil. How do you know information you given them? Searching it myself, and then basically all the other stuff I just said. The world's a crazy place.
So I'm sorry, let me address this Madden, because I was just going to type it, but it's easier to do it. So you sent the question and asked him his thoughts on it. And now that you don't agree with his thoughts on it, you think that for instance, earlier I saw you say that, oh, so you support children being hurt or something like that. That's ridiculous. He just explained that nothing has been proven. It's just annoying. It's annoying how much y'all out there, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people out there, you guys are like that. See him with a picture and you think he's guilty. I don't need evidence. He's just guilty. Well, that's a problem too. Like, come on. But because we don't agree with what you think that we support pedophiles or we're okay with children being injured. Like, come on. Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, that was a pretty honest answer. Pretty upfront. Not party first, whatever. I mean, I can only answer the question as best I can. I'll always be honest with you. I'm never going to lie. I'll tell you what I think is the truth at the time. I've spent more time than I care to admit browsing the Epstein files for things like that. Searched. I'm not here to defend Trump, but I've searched his name. I've gone through the files. I've looked at quite a few. Again, more than I care to admit, and I've found nothing. Like absolutely zero. Nothing. So I don't know. Again, only 58% of them are released. Maybe there is stuff out there. I don't know.
Yeah, where's the rest of it? That's where I'm at with it. Well, where's the rest of them? I guess we'll see with Pam Bondi now.
Yeah.
I think I personally would like to see them all out and all unredacted. Although I also understand that they want to try to protect people, I think. But I don't even know if I believe that anymore, that's why they're not releasing them all. Where's the rest of them? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Seriously. What's in the rest of them? Why did they hold those ones back? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's not.
The files are incomplete. Yes. Okay. Does that mean he's guilty? No, certainly doesn't. You really think they would release anything incriminating when both sides are compromised? Wake up, bro. I don't. But people are amazing. I trust the people that are out there searching through the files and stuff, but to find something. But that's what I said. I don't think anything's ever going to come of this. I don't think I've said that for months, maybe even years. I don't think anything's going to come from it. I think it's been too long. I think some of the victims are actually not victims, and the whole situation's messed up. So I don't think there's going to be any chance of ever really seeing any justice from this. Sure would like to see it. Yeah. Yeah, I sure would. But I don't think we're going to.
But what I find interesting about the Epstein files, just in the past, whatever,
Agreed.
2 years or whatever, is everybody's so set on Trump. Trump's in this. Trump's in this. Trump. But how about the other hundreds of names that are in there? Nobody wants to talk about any of them ever. It's always Trump. Well, what about the rest of them? I don't know. Did you guys watch Hillary and Bill's stuff this week? Holy cow! First of all, Bill, man. But I watched probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes or something. But he didn't remember a whole lot. And I'm thinking in my head, why didn't we do this with him 5-10 years ago? Why are we just doing this now? They should have had conversations. It's just like this week. Yep, this week I saw that what's her face? Noam testified that the Biden administration was giving money to the traffickers. So are we gonna talk to Biden now? Are we gonna put him on trial, or are we gonna wait 10 more years until he can't remember anything either? I don't know. I just think a lot of it's a show, and I can't do a lot about all of it. So I just kind of sit and watch. I don't get all my panties in a bunch. I just go with the flow. And what can we do? We can be awake. We can educate ourselves. We can have our own opinions. We can whatever. If you think that he's guilty because of that picture, I guess you won't vote for him.
In 2028.
Gonna make people mad, babe.
That's all right. Fire Pam Bondi, I agree. We're not that far apart, maybe, huh? We're not that far apart.
Well, you said, he said, yeah. So, Madden, shut the F up. Sorry, YouTube blocked this comment, so I didn't put it up there because they blocked them for a reason. So I don't usually approve them. Shut the F up, saying victims are not victims. A lot of it on the list were anonymous tips that were put in there in 2020 and 2021 when the TDS really started, as you can see that goes on. And some of them probably weren't victims. We're not saying that all of them weren't victims. If Biden is guilty of stuff, he should be arrested too. Right. But nobody wants to talk about that, is my point. You guys all, Trump. But okay. So we've gone over him. Let's talk about the other hundreds of people that are in them and also are not being charged. That's a problem. But it seems everybody's got such TDS. It seems that nobody wants to think about the past. Oh, well, let's talk about he's in office right now. Okay, that's fine. We could talk about him being in office. We talked about it. Now let's talk about the other hundreds of people that were on the files or that did this or did that and aren't being charged. That's a problem. But because it was in the past, quote unquote, some people don't even want to talk about it. They think it's like it doesn't exist anymore because it was yesterday. Yeah, get all of them. I don't care just about Trump. I feel the same. If he's guilty, then charge him too. I don't understand why nobody's been charged here.
I understand why my camera keeps stopping after a while. It's like, all right, that's enough.
Oh,
You're out of here. You're out of here. Let me check one thing. I did this last time and it seemed to work. We're going to try something. Just
Yeah,
bear with me.
Jericho. Okay, I'll walk away. I don't know.
I think I had your mic off. Sorry. Now you can do that again.
I was saying Jericho said 29 arrests for Minnesota church attack. Things take time. I do agree things take time. And that's the other thing. Like we can't just jump out. You know, you see the first news story released and half of it's not even true. We have a thing now going on in our community where ICE came and took an innocent man. That's what the headlines were. ICE comes and takes innocent man. This was, I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. But anyways, a couple weeks ago, ICE came in and detained an innocent man. They started a GoFundMe for this family. They raised $100,000 or something. And now it's come out this week that he was arrested because he lied on his gun application saying he was a U.S. citizen, his gun permit application. So that's why they came and got him. Not because he was innocent, but because he lied on his government application saying he's a U.S. citizen and he's not. Why does he need a gun? You know, it's sneaky. But you got to wait for the whole story. You can't just jump on the first bandwagon, because the news will put out the first bandwagon because they want to be the first one to put it out there. But half the time it's missing facts. So hold and wait for the facts.
Sorry, I got baited into your words. I will be refunding my donations. I only did it to get attention. You two are insane. God have mercy on your soul.
Have a nice day.
Man, it's sad when people are so unhinged.
It seems you have a baby there. Make sure that you, I think that's what I see in your picture. I can't tell. But pay attention when you start raising that baby and they get into school. Pay attention.
Yeah. Let me do one thing here. I'm going to back out and come right back, see if that fixes this. Bam! I'm back. Look at that. I'm back. It's amazing. Where are we at here? Oh, that's right. We're insane. I forgot. We're insane.
We're still insane.
We're insane for just being, rational people.
You crazy.
Can't just be rational people. Speaking of insane. Speaking of insane. Elementary school in Fresno was forced to file a police report after a child sex offender running for city council held a press conference just steps away. Renee Campos, a candidate for Fresno City Council, gave a press conference at St. John's Catholic Church, steps away from Big Picture Academy, where the school was fully operational, with students visibly entering and exiting the building. The school has issued a statement about Campos' political campaign news, stating that it was a deeply troubling display of contempt for the law and, more importantly, for the safety of children. To use an elementary school full of children as a backdrop for a campaign event, knowing full well that his presence may be unlawful, is highly inappropriate and offensive, the leader said in the statement. Fresno city leaders are also moving forward with plans for an ordinance that would bar council candidates who are registered sex offenders from entering various city facilities.
To address
What the ever-loving
charter school is not tolerating a registered sex offender near its campus and kids. Renee Campos is seeking the Fresno City Council District 7 seat. The registered sex offender called for a meeting at St. John's Catholic Church in downtown Fresno last Friday to address concerns expressed by some Fresno City Council members. The church is near Big Picture Academy, and the school sent a statement today saying there was a potential violation of the legal restrictions placed upon him as a sex offender and a breach of trust and safety for the school's community. The school adds it is taking legal measures to make sure Campos does not violate the safety protections in place for students. Charter school is
and then I have a video from him himself, so we're gonna have to play that because it just says everything we need to know. Let's see here. These volumes up.
Is there a reason you chose this location to do this announcement?
Is there a reason you chose this location
Next to an elementary school
to do this announcement?
At 3:30 in the afternoon when school's about to let out.
Yes. But he later in the video, he actually pretends like he doesn't see anybody, and they say they're going in and out.
I feel the city of Fresno, there are certain areas that represent rehabilitation, people. This church has been here for hundreds of years. Forgiveness isn't something that is just given to you. It is not handed. You earn it day by day, minute by minute. That's what I'm doing. I'm not asking, I'm not demanding. I'm saying, grow with me, trust me. They chose to go on the news and say, I don't belong here. I don't belong in this race. What type of person doesn't belong here? Today I don't belong.
Sexual
Tomorrow they don't
predators.
belong. So what are we saying? Does the Constitution matter anymore? The laws they're pushing on us, they want us to believe in them. You want us to follow them. You follow them. I've been accountable. Let's hold them accountable. Lead by
The idea.
example.
Lead by example.
There is another issue that I'd like to address.
Answer the question.
There is something that has publicly been said. How would I address the issue of schools? I've never said I would go to schools. Over the last few days, mothers have reached out to me.
He is across the street from a school. Like right now, when he's talking about not going to schools, he's standing across the street from an elementary school at release time.
Schools. Over the last few days, mothers have reached out to me, angry. I didn't silence them. I talked with them. They said, how could a person like you help? I listened. And I said, I can't fix everything, and I'm not going to promise you the world, but I can give you the advice I learned. That's the best I can do.
Does the conditions of your sentence prevent you from being a certain distance from schools?
There are certain California restrictions people must follow within the law, and I follow the law to the letter.
Except right now. Except right now.
As of right now, it's the basic restrictions of California law. It's going to be the California laws that are restricted to that penal code.
There's an elementary school right there. Is that would that be against the rules?
I would say during operational hours, absolutely. I believe they are closed right now. I don't see anyone, and I understand the issue. However, I called it here because I felt this place was important. We can't say this person is that person. I have rehabilitated, and people can't keep saying, I'm afraid of him. If you keep saying that, you don't believe in rehabilitation. You don't believe in what you're voting for.
I don't believe in rehabilitation. Go ahead.
I was to say, you could be quote unquote rehabilitated, but I don't think you still should be standing outside of that elementary school. And or running.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I can't be rehabilitated away from liking women.
That's true.
So I'm thinking that he probably can't be rehabilitated away from liking kids.
Yeah.
They want to put this guy in charge of policy. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. And that's Fresno, California. He probably has a chance. I'm assuming that's a guy. It looked like it probably has a chance. Let me get this straight. Oh, jeez.
Let me get this straight. Pictures aren't enough for you. The files aren't enough for you, correct? Do you really think these people are going to go through the justice system properly? Come on.
I don't know if it's a comprehension problem or a listening problem, but let's just do it again. Pictures aren't enough. No, they're not. Not those pictures. Not pictures of him standing next to him in a public event with people all around. No. Before any convictions, also, don't forget, this is before any convictions. So it wasn't necessarily public knowledge what was going on there. So no, those pictures aren't enough for me. Sorry. I'm not going into it with a bias. He's not guilty before I see the pictures. Neither is anyone else. The files aren't enough for you, correct? I mean, not the files that I've seen or any of the files that have been released, because unless you can point to something, there's been nothing that is worth reporting, really. So, no, in this case, because I'm somewhat educated on the matter, no. The files aren't enough for me. to convict someone of raping children. No, I'm not going to convict someone of raping children because he has a picture next to some guy at a public place. What is wrong with you to think that you should convict someone for that? I don't see any other evidence out there, so that must be the only thing you're basing it on. Maybe you should try to be more intellectually honest and not so biased, and maybe look at it like it's just a nameless person. Just a nameless person. Oh, or better yet, put a Democrat's name in his place and then tell me you feel the same way. I highly doubt it. None of them seem to do that. Let's just be honest, right? Now, just imagine what has not been released. I bet you won't be singing the same tune. Nothing worth reporting means that you have not done any investigative journalism on. Okay, you're just reading headlines and repeating them on YouTube. Are you here? Are you listening to any of this? Or are you just lining up your next comment so that you can? I'm gonna get this guy. You guys, you're all the same out there, just trying to get everybody instead of actually. We can all see that you're not thinking rationally. You look silly when you talk that way. You don't. I just went through, just told everybody that I've spent more time than I care to admit looking through those files. I found a different website that has an easier way to look through those files. And yet, I don't know. I guess I just read headlines. If that's what you think, I mean, I'm not going to be able to change your mind, nor do I care to. But hit the like button. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
You guys, we're not forcing you haters to be here, but while you're here, you might as well hit the like button. We've kept your attention long enough. Nobody here is saying that we support Epstein.
Yeah.
That's what you're not understanding. You're not listening. You're waiting for that next comment to go, what about this? Oh, what about this? We're not saying we support Epstein. We're not saying that anybody's innocent. We are saying that there's nothing in the files that we have seen that proves that Trump is guilty yet. There's a picture of him next to him in a suit. There's a picture of Clinton next to him in a suit. There's a picture of Clinton in a hot tub. Who knows? With whatever comes out later, we might be changing our tune. But right now, we haven't seen anything to convict him.
I'm not going to spend much more time on this one, but I'm trying to understand because I'm interested. I like conversation, right? I like to try to understand where you're coming from and why you think what you think. And he said, it's not just that one picture. Okay. You need to do more investigative work. There's a lot more in the files than that picture for Howard to be convicted. The dude's a creep. And it sounds like so we're talking about Howard now. It's not just that one. I don't even know which one we're talking about anymore. We switched over to Howard. Whoever seeing a picture of Howard Lutnick on Epstein Island in like leisure clothes, just hanging out, is a lot different than seeing a picture of Trump at Mar-a-Lago where Epstein came before Trump kicked him out. It's a lot different. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. If you look at all these pictures that they've already put out, a bunch of pictures, the one with Trump and the women from the pageant or whatever, where there's like 3 of them on each side of him or whatever, and they took that picture and they put black marks over the faces, and then they put it out like they were underage girls, but it didn't take long for people to figure out what that really was. But it didn't matter because 20% of the morons who looked at that and now they believe that. They'll believe that forever. You're not going to be able to tell them any different. They're just going to believe it. Or how about that other picture of them on the couch together, and like the one girl has 3 legs and the one girl's forearm is longer than, I don't know, it looks like it's about 4 feet long. Well, that's AI, you see. But people believe that crap. People see it, they believe it. They don't put any work in. They don't do any investigative reporting. They don't do any of that. They just see the picture and then they go, oh, he's guilty. He's guilty. The Republicans are evil. Everybody's protecting pedophiles. Ah! Calm down. Don't believe everything you see and read. If you do, you'll be up and down and up and down and just go wherever the wind pushes you. Try to base it off of facts, principles. Have integrity when you talk about these things. Like I said, if I saw anything in there, I'd say it. That's it. If I saw anything in there, I'd say it. I can tell you that I've spent hours and hours and hours looking through those files, but it doesn't matter because you say that I need to do more investigative work and quit just looking at the headlines. I mean, you're wrong, but how am I going to prove that? So I'm not going to bother. Like it's just silly. You don't have to believe me. It's fine. I don't care if you believe me. I'm not going to be able to reach everybody. Not everybody's going to believe. Some people are just too far down the rabbit hole. Some people are just too subverted to understand what they're looking at. They see everything through the vision of party. It's a waste of time. I say it all the time, the left thinks the right is evil, while the right thinks the left is stupid.
Meanwhile, we're all just people with their own opinions.
Right? Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Right? Right? I'll take this question any day of the week. Would you agree that Sheriff Buford T. Justice of the Texas Highway Patrol was the best to ever wear the badge? I think maybe. Certainly one of the most entertaining. Do you know who that is, Beth?
No.
No, that's the.
Well, maybe if I saw him, I would.
That's Jackie. I believe it's Jackie Gleason, the cop in the Bandit movies with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
I think that's who they're talking about there. What?
It's fun. Sometimes the chat's fun. Innocent until proven guilty ended when MAGA voted for a 34-time convicted felon.
What were those convictions for?
Talon.
Tell me what those convictions were for. Real quick now. Don't look it up on Google. Tell me what those convictions were for. Come on now. Should be coming across any second because you know.
Ready? Set.
We're getting into
Go.
Google area now. We're getting into Google. I Googled it time now. We're getting a little. I think we're in Google area now. You had to search it up, didn't you? Oh, well, that's all right. I could tell you, but I'd rather you just look it up.
Edward over there said, I've been doing research on so much stuff for the last 13 years. I love God, family, and country. That's the thing too. Yeah. Some people are just waking up in the past year or two. I've been more like the past 10 years or so. And even then I'm not into every single I can't do the rabbit holes, right? I go through a little bit more. Sometimes I get like weirded out, grossed out. I don't want to know anymore because it's all sick. So because the way my mind works, I think about this stuff and I can get myself heated up. So, but people who just started paying attention for the past year or two, they're usually, in my opinion anyway, with my friends, they're the ones who just read headlines and they don't know about 10 years ago or whatever. And it's like, well, I mean, if you look at this, oh, I didn't know that went on, so I don't know, educating yourself is important. And to me, not reading the headlines is important. Sure, read a headline, but look further into it, not just that headline. And then when you see, like, for instance, the CNN headlines, I saw the one that said convicted, no, Republican, what was the headline this week for that guy that the family, did you go over that one? Republicans nominate man awaiting trial for murder. That was the headline. And then when I was like, what? So I read the headline and then I went to another source and looked at the actual story behind this man. I was like, oh, I remember this story. Oh, okay. But if you just read that one CNN headline, you're going to think, oh my gosh, these guys are idiots. But if you look into why he's on trial or about to go to trial or whatever, well, you might actually agree with them.
You might. Shorts on. I was just going to try to play this quick little
Yeah, I agree with 31.
Is
People
not
like
the answer.
Oh, sorry.
Good.
I said people like Musk shouldn't be able to buy politicians and throw their weight around because they're wealthy. I agree. 100%.
We're not that far apart.
Mhm.
Agree. The picture of Trump's not enough for me. I never said he's guilty. Never said Republicans are evil. I didn't say you did. I just said that the left thinks that the right is evil. And I never said defending PDFs. I'm just stating facts that are in the file. What facts? I didn't hear any facts. Just saying.
Liberalism is not the answer. But man, it's so seductive, Jordan. Liberalism is so easy. All you have to do is see some suffering and tell everybody that you see it, and that it really bothers you. And you
Really
all, right there, you are given great credit for having great compassion. And people will say great things about you. All you have to do is notice it. You don't have to offer solutions.
That's right. You don't have to offer a solution. You just have to notice it and let people know that it really bothers you. And then throw someone else's money at it. You're a hero. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Isn't it amazing, babe?
It's amazing.
I don't know if I have anything left on my notes here. Not really. Well, is this pro-Trump? It's pro-America. I like Trump, but it's pro-America. I like MagAmericans, make America great again. I like that. Let's get to the bottom here. New comments. What?
Bob, do you think we're the president? You bounce from issue to issue, never solving any. What is it that you want us to solve?
Yeah. Solve something.
We all have to get together to solve these issues and vote. I think a lot of the problem is a lot of people don't vote. Some people, I have a Facebook friend just this past week that just got mad. Now she's just an acquaintance, I should say. I say a friend, but she's an acquaintance. I know her from around town or whatever. But she's like, I'm not never voting again. I don't trust any of them. Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, oh, that's not where we need to be. That means we'll have God knows who in office. If you're not paying attention, you choose not to vote, well, then you're stuck with whatever's going on. So at least vote. And I think a lot of the people just, doesn't matter if I don't make it today, somebody else will vote, yada, yada. And we end up with big government that spends all our money on crap that we don't want to spend our money on.
Yeah. Oh,
if you can't do the rabbit holes, then this is not the subject for you. Just plain and simple. Maybe focus on sports or something.
I don't know if you know this, but this isn't my show. See, that's why I'm not in front of the camera over there.
You should probably focus on sports.
Maybe
yourself.
I should be in front of the camera. Then you might give me another thumbs up.
Oh, she'd get a thumbs up. You get a thumbs up. Yeah.
I don't go down the deep rabbit holes. I'm awake enough. I've got children. I'm married. I have a home. I have skin in the game. I vote. So here I am. I'm just kind of what's the word? Like an added.
You're the color commentator.
I'm the confetti.
You're the confetti. The confetti. Well, I think that's going to be it, man. You want to do your tagline?
Make America great again.
Oh my gosh.
I just wanted to trigger these guys.
All right, Warriors. We've navigated the chaos tonight. The key takeaway is draw closer as we the people, or we the family, because that's really what we are. Wait on God and the storm will break. Head to MagAmericans.com for more resources, links, information, and grab my book, Freedom Isn't Free, for that unfiltered truth behind the scenes of the Patriot movement. Subscribe here on YouTube. You never know when I might jump on, so make sure you hit that bell. You can follow us on social media at MagAmericans, pretty much wherever you go. And thank you for spending some of your evening with us. You are appreciated. Stay strong, stay beautiful. God bless you and God bless America. We will see you again on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. sharp. So you need to be here. All right. Get some sleep. Don't stay out late. Appointment to be at 6 a.m. on Saturday. Smile to strangers and pray for your enemies. You need it more than they do. God bless you.